there was the difference in terms of social status between Amir and Babu. They were really good friends. However, one day during the kite runners competition, Amir betrayed Hassan. Then Afghan king was overthrown and Afghanistan was invaded by the Soviets and it became a war zone. Amir and his father had to escape from their country and they settled down in the US. Time passed and Amir happened to return to his country one day due to some circumstances. He was looking for Sohrab, passed away Hassan's son, who was violently kidnapped or taken from the orphanage. So, dear audience, just imagine, post-war Kabul, ruined and hostile. Amir was sitting in the stuffy room of one of the houses in Kabul. He was waiting for someone to approach him, and he hoped that he would find Sohrab there. Let me begin. I've been wondering, the Talib said, the bloodshot eye peering at me over Sohrab's shoulder. Whatever happened to old Babaloo anyway? The question hit me like a hammer between the eyes. I felt the color drain from my face. My legs went cold, numb. He laughed. What did you think? That you put on a fake beard and I wouldn't recognize you? Here's something I'll bet you never knew about me. I never forget a face. Not ever. He brushed his lips against Sohrab's ear, kept his eyes on me. I heard your father died. I always did want to take him on. Looks like I'll have to settle for his weakling of a son. Then he took off his sunglasses and locked his bloodshot blue eyes on mine. I tried to take a breath and couldn't. I tried to blink and couldn't. The moment felt surreal. Not surreal, absurd. It had knocked the breath out of me, brought the world around me to a standstill. My past was like that, always turning up. His name rose from the deep, and I didn't want to say it, as if uttering it might conjure him. His name escaped my lips. Asif, Amir Jan, what are you doing here? I said, knowing how utterly foolish the question sounded, yet unable to think of anything else to say. Me? Asif arched an eyebrow. I am in my element. What are you doing here? I already told you, I said. My voice was trembling. I wished it wouldn't do that, wished my flesh wasn't shrinking against my bones. The boy? Yes. Why? I'll pay you for him, I said. I can have money wired. Money? Asif said. He tittered. Have you ever heard of Rockingham? Western Australia, a slice of heaven. You should see it, miles and miles of beach, green water, blue skies. My parents live there in a beachfront villa. There is a golf course behind the villa and a little lake. So, if I need money, I'll have them wire it to me. He kissed the side of Sohrab's neck. The boy flinched a little, closed his eyes again. Besides, I didn't fight the Shirabi for money. Didn't join the Taliban for money either. Do you want to know why I joined them? My lips had gone dry. I licked them and found my tongue had dried too. Are you thirsty? Asif smirked. No. I think you are thirsty. I'm fine, I said. The truth was the room felt too hot suddenly. Sweat was bursting from my pores, prickling my skin. And was this really happening? Was I really sitting across from Asif? As you wish, he said. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, how I joined the Taliban. Well, as you may remember, I wasn't much of a religious type. But one day I had an epiphany. I had it in jail. Do you want to hear? I said nothing. Good, I'll tell you, he said. I spent some time in jail at Policharhi just after Babrak Kemal took over in 1980. I ended up there one night when a group of Pachami soldiers marched into our house and ordered my father and me at gunpoint to follow them. The bastards didn't give a reason, and they wouldn't answer my mother's questions. Not that it was a mystery. Everyone knew the communists had no class. Anyway, we were cramped in a group of 6 in these tiny cells, each the size of a refrigerator. Every night the commandant, a half Hazara, half Uzbek thing, who smelled like a rotting donkey, would have one of the prisoners dragged out of the cell, and he'd beat him until sweat poured from his fat face. Then he'd light a cigarette, crack his joints, and leave. The next night, he'd pick someone else. One night, he'd pick me. They dragged me out and he started kicking me. He had knee-high boots with steel toes that he wore every night for his little kicking game. And he used them on me. I was screaming and he kept kicking me, and then suddenly he kicked me on the left kidney and the stone bust. Just like that. Oh, the relief. Assiya laughed and I yelled, Allah Akbar. And he kicked me even harder and I started laughing. They threw me back in the cell laughing. I kept laughing and laughing because suddenly I knew that had been a message from God. He was on my side. He wanted me to live for a reason. You know, I ran into that commandant on the battlefield a few years later. Funny how God works. I found him in a trench just outside Meimana, bleeding from a piece of shrapnel in his chest. He was still wearing those same boots. I asked him if he remembered me. He said no. I told him the same thing I just told you, that I never forget the face. Then I shot him in the balls. I've been on a mission since. What mission is that? I heard myself say. Stowing adulterers, raping children, flogging women for wearing high heels, massacring Hazaras, all in the name of Islam. The words spilled suddenly and unexpectedly, came out before I could yank the leash. I wish they could take them back, swallow them, but they were out. A look of surprise passed across Asaf's face, briefly, and disappeared. I see this may turn out to be enjoyable after all, he said, sneakily. But there are things traitors like you don't understand. Like what? Asaf's brow twitched. Like pride in your people, your customs, your language. Afghanistan is like a beautiful mansion littered with garbage, and someone has to take out the garbage. That's what you were doing in Mazar, going door to door, taking out the garbage? Precisely. In the West, they have an expression for that, I said. They call it ethnic cleansing. Do they? Asaf's face brightened. Ethnic cleansing. I like it. I like the sound of it. All I want is the point. Ethnic cleansing, Asaf murmured, tasting the words. I want the point, I said again. Sohrab's eyes flicked to meet. Tell me why, Assiya said. That's my business. What do you want to do with him, he said. Then a coy smile. Or to him. That's disgusting, I said. How would you know? Have you tried it? I want to take him to a better place. Tell me, why? That's my business, I said. I didn't know what had emboldened me to be so curt. Maybe the fact that I thought I was going to die anyway. I wonder, Asaf said. I wonder why you've come all this way, Amir. Come all this way for Hazara? Why are you here? Why are you really here? I have my reasons, I said. Very well then, Asaf said, sneering. He shoved the crab in the back, pushed him right into the table. The crab's hip struck the table, knocking it upside down and spilling the grapes. He fell on them, face first, and stained his shirt purple with grape juice. Take him then, Assiya said. I helped the crab to his feet, swatted the bits of crushed grape that had stuck to his pants like barnacles to a fire. Go, take him, Assiya said, pointing to the door. I took the crab's hands. It was small, the skin dry and closed. His fingers moved, laced themselves with mine. We made it as far as the door. Of course, Assiya said behind us. I didn't say you could take him for free. I turned. What do you want? You have to earn him. What do you want? You have some unfinished business. You and I, Assiya said. You remember, don't you? He needn't have worried. I would never forget the day after Daoud Khan overthrew the king. My entire adult life, whenever I heard Daoud Khan's name, what I saw was Hassan with his slingshot pointed at Assef's face. Hassan saying that they have to start calling him one-eyed Assef instead of Assef Goshkor. I remember how envious I'd been of Hassan's bravery. Assef had backed down, promised that in the end he'd get us both. He kept the promise with Hassan. Now it was my turn. All right, I said, not knowing what else there was to say. I wasn't about to beg. That would have only sweetened the moment for him. Assef called the guards back into the room. I want you to listen to me, he said to them. In a moment I'm going to close the door. Then he and I are going to finish a known bit of business. No matter what you hear, don't come in. Do you hear me? Don't come in. The guards nodded, looked from Assef to me. Yes, Agassi. When it's all done, only one of us will walk out of his room alive, Assef said. If it's him, then he's earned his freedom, and you let him pass. Do you understand? The older guard shifted on his feet. But Agassi, if it's him, you let him pass, Assef screamed. The two men flinched, but nodded again. They turned to go. One of them reached the crowd. Let him stay, Assef said. He grinned. Let him watch. Lessons are good things for boys. The guards left. Assef put down his prayer beads, reached in the breast pocket of his black vest. What he fished out of the pocket didn't surprise me one bit. Stainless steel brass knuckles. Thank you. Back to the Toastmasters.